Joining us now, our former RNC chair, Michael Steele, and Mark Leibovich, staff writer at The Atlantic and author of Thank You for Your Servitude, Donald Trump's Washington and the Price of Submission. Chairman, what's happening here and what is going to happen? Does Kevin McCarthy still stand a chance? I mean, how do you read the tea leaves on this?
Yeah, you always stand a chance until you don't. I mean, that's how it works in Washington. I mean, seriously, it sounds crazy, but that's true. If he thinks he's in the game, he's going to work the angles, which is what that pizza represents. Now, is he having a conversation with senior leadership? Yes. Is he meeting with key allies? Absolutely. Is he talking with those 20 members who are against him? He's trying his best. But the question boils down to this. What more can you offer that you haven't already offered that they're going to be willing to accept that will not lose you part of the 203 votes you already have? Because that's the other side of this equation. You have 203 votes. So you would think you'd have some negotiating leverage within the caucus itself, using other caucus members to bring that pressure to bear on the 20. But it speaks to something that I learned very early in my tenure at the RNC with the emergence of the Tea Party, is that for them and for a lot of the remnants, what's left inside the Freedom Caucus, Jim Jordan was part of that original class, is a two-pronged approach. One is respect, right? Because they don't ever feel that they've been respected in the process by the process. And two, leverage. They've never really had leverage going into these efforts, as we've seen the two times before with Boehner and Ryan. Now they've got both. They've gotten the attention of the establishment, right? They've built the respect with the base, right? There aren't base voters out there screaming for them not to do what they're doing right now. No one's talking about that. You don't hear the base rising and say, "Can you guys just really give Kevin the gavel?" That's not happening. All right, that's one. And the second piece is they've got the leverage now to extract more pounds of flesh that I just don't see Kevin has on his hide at the moment.
Yeah, short of giving them his firstborn, and I don't actually know if Kevin McCarthy has children, but Mark Leibovich, part of the reason that they've been able to extract this much leverage is because there is a vacuum in terms of leadership inside the Republican Party. I mean, there are no Republican heavies at the moment that can move people, that can really whip in the way that you need to. At least it seems. And I mean, look no further than Donald Trump, who endorsed Kevin McCarthy, and today is telling NBC News, I got everybody calling me wanting my support, but let's see what happens. And I got everybody calling wanting my support. That's all I can say, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how it all works out. I mean, he endorsed the dude who is the #1 seed for this and is now walking it back because McCarthy's weakness is effectively Trump's weakness. I mean, where is the center of gravity in the Republican Party right now, in your opinion?
I think it's with that pizza. I mean, I think you asked the question,
yes!
What does Kevin McCarthy have for people at this point to give? He has pizza. No, I mean, what you're seeing here is a party with no center of gravity. It is a party of chaos agents. And one of the things that struck me in watching the interview with Representative Ocasio-Cortez before was the mischief she seems to be enjoying, in her conversations with Matt Gaetz and Paul Gosar. And there was sort of mutually assured mischief. I mean, everyone sort of knows that they're all kind of torturing Kevin McCarthy in their own sort of way. And look, I mean, this is what happens when you have no leadership in what is a very slim majority party. And I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump himself now is not whipping up chaos because he's enjoying it, because he loves a spectacle like this, and because he feels it elevates him. And in some ways, he can look like he was supportive of Kevin McCarthy. But on the other hand, I think that, the vacuum in the House only helps him, he probably thinks. And, I think instead of, while Republicans might be wheeling pizza into Kevin McCarthy's office, I think the Democrats should wheel like a big vat of popcorn onto the floor tomorrow because they just seem to be enjoying this so much.